So in this video, I'm going to be looking at the TV show Hannibal, which is kind of a precursor to the Anthony Hopkins Silence of the Lambs stuff that we're all familiar with. So in this show, it kind of focuses on Will Graham, and he works with the FBI and the psychiatrist Hannibal Lecter to solve crimes and find bad guys. But they're also looking for the Chesapeake Ripper, which the audience knows is Mr. Hannibal, I'm a Cannibal, and it's just waiting for everyone else in the show to catch up to what we know. Adds a little bit of drama to that. There's a lot to talk about with this show, and every episode is seriously like a visual feast. Quite literally. I'm going to be looking at specifically the relationship between Hannibal and Will Graham, and kind of the way that that connects fans and also the creative team, and kind of some of the problems that arise from that in this new kind of evolving participatory culture that we're at. So, Hannibal and Will have a ship name, and that is Hannigram. It's a mashup of both their names together, so Hannibal and Will Graham. So, yeah. Important thing about this name is it's used in their fucking kind of context. It's not a friendship, it's not a bromance kind of thing, it's they're having sex relationship only. And it comes from like an interpretation of like watching the show, especially in season 1. Because you're seeing Hannibal like making meals for Will, which are so cute, and like taking care of him whenever he's sick, and like Will just kind of feels at ease around Hannibal. So you're just like, yes, they are in love with each other, and it's all interpreted. So fans did what they do best with this shit, and they kind of ran with it, and made fan art, manips, the whole role play thing, and even fanfics with it. I will say that this ship is very problematic because, Hannibal causes Will to go insane, quite literally, and then ends the season with Will in jail for the murders that Hannibal created. So, it's really problematic, really abusive, but I still ship it real hard. Oh, I shouldn't. Anyway, all of these things are floating around on the internets, and social media is an amazing thing, but because of it, we have the creative team finding all these fan arts and fan fictions. And we know they found it because they'll be retweeting these pictures or talking about this stuff on panels at like cons. And by season 2, you're just like, they're putting this stuff in there for us because it's no longer subtextual. It's like full-on declarations of, I can't get you out of my mind. I can't quit this relationship, which are things Will literally says about Hannibal to Hannibal in season 2. Like, it's no longer I'm interpreting, it's there for us to see. Come to season 3 and you're just like, this isn't subtext anymore, as Hannibal makes a Valentine out of a corpse for Will to find. Disturbing, wonderful ship goodness. They even get called murder husbands from the show. So none of the stuff is fake anymore. It's not interpreting. It's there for us to see. Then you get to the season finale, the last episode of Hannibal that there is, the series finale, where Hannibal and Will have just literally been murder husbands together, killing the Red Dragon or Tooth Fairy, however you want to call this character. And they passionately, tenderly embrace, covered in blood, on a cliff, and then a pause later, Will pushes both of them off the cliff. That is the end. Hopefully they'll get a season 4 somewhere, or at the very latest, a movie or 2 that they're kind of hinting at. But at the time, right now, all we have are these 3 seasons. What we have is actually queer baiting. Creators aren't actually going to make Hannigram an actual part of the show. They're not going to legitimize the relationship. They have Will in a heterosexual married relationship to start with, putting it in there to kind of appease what the fans want. You can say and argue that the relationship between Alana and Margot, that's proof that this isn't queerbaiting. But really, we don't get a lot of their relationship. It's just kind of briefly mentioned, and apart from one scene in season 2, you don't really get a lot of information about their relationship. It's just kind of like, yeah, lesbian relationship. Queerbaiting now. And so this raises some interesting questions about what exactly do we do? This is all really new, Before, you didn't really engage with the actual creators of the show. You know, the fanfic that you would write in like your room in the dark of the night under your covers was just for other fans. You never expected the creators or actors to find this stuff, and now they are, and they're engaging with it. How do they show their appreciation for what we're making? And how do we, work together? So that's really where we're at in this participatory culture, is figuring out exactly how to navigate with all of this stuff without creating and perpetuating more problems. While this may be queer baiting, it does some interesting things and shows, how creators and fans can interact. That being said, I still love this show and I still love this ship.